we're going to do Jap. So I'm going to show you how to apply Jap onto your fabric with the couching method, and also how to plunge your ends. So enjoy the video. Here's our little heart design. So we're going to do some Jap thread today, and this is the Jap thread that's on the screen now. This is a wrapped core, so it's a cotton core and it's wrapped around. You do have to be careful with all your threads and treat them with care. So we're going to start this one off with a little loop just here like this, and I've already come up with my thread just for quickness. So we're just going to come down and over that loop once. The thread that I'm using is a double thread. I have already waxed it, so just to show you that, when I'm waxing my thread, so I've just gone over that loop twice there, and when I'm waxing my thread, I just take the wax and I run the thread over it. I do that twice, and then I just run my nail down the thread just like that, just to make sure that it's not got any excess wax on it. And so I'm just taking my thread here, and I'm going to just come up on this side of the Jap, and now I've gone over that loop twice, but I'm now just going to go over this thread once, but over the double thread, and because I'm going quite close to this edge here, it will draw these in to a nice tight line. Okay, so we're just coming up there like that. I'm following the line. Now you'll see that it's just loosened up a little bit, and that's fine. So as soon as you come up with this one, you just need to tug that in a little bit again. Okay, and then you'll do that again until it becomes tight enough. Okay, so we're just coming up on one side and down on the other, and your stitches are about 3 millimeters apart there. Okay. So you just carry on all the way around, about 3 millimeters apart with those stitches each time. And you're following your line that you've tacked on the fabric. So I'm holding this Jap thread quite taut, but as I move around, I can move it just like that. So I'm gradually moving it around that heart shape as we get to the curve there. Just bringing that around now this way. Your stitches need to be the same width as your thread, because if they're not, you'll be able to see those stitches quite clearly. So just here, I've just purposefully done that stitch a little bit wider. Can you see? You can see that quite easily there. So just for demonstration purposes, all the rest of the stitches need to be exactly the same width as your thread. So I'm just going to pull that round just like that, and then it forms that nice heart shape. So you can hold it in place there, and then it's just really, really easy for you to actually stitch it down then. And it forms that curve as well. So if you're holding it in place, the curve is the best curve that you could possibly gain, because the thread will hold that natural curve for you. Now as you're doing this little area here, it's always quite nice to just bring that heart down a little bit lower. So I'm just going to take it over one just there, okay, and then I'm just going to take it over the other one just a fraction further down. Okay, just about there. Over that one. Okay, and then I'm going to do a stitch just right near that corner, like that. and then I'm going to just bring that up here. I'm not going to worry too much about whether it's right or wrong at this stage. It's easier to tweak it afterwards than it is to do it right now. So I'm just going to hold that down just there. Okay, and then I'm going to come over like that. Now see how those are twisting slightly? You need to make sure that they do lie just like that, okay? And then you can just give that a little bit of a pinch and it forms a really nice V. So we're just carrying on up our heart shape just here now and coming over that, following that tacking line just there. So again, I'm just going to take that thread and I'm going to just make sure that it just nicely forms that looped shape just there, and we're coming up and down. Just coming over the loop, and as I said to you, if you hold that in place with your finger, then it will just form a really nice natural curve. So you can see that it's really nice and symmetrical there. Now depending on what you particularly want to do with the end of your heart, I'm running out of thread just here, so for quickness I'm just going to finish that one off and I'm going to start a new one, and then I can finish that one off later. Okay, so again, this is a wax thread. I've pre-waxed it before I actually started doing the stitching to make sure that it was ready for me to just pick up, so it's really quick for me to demonstrate. So that's coming down to here. Now it's entirely up to you what you do at this point. You can either just finish it off there, or you can actually do a little wave with the end or a swirl with the end. It's entirely up to you. For showing today, I'm just going to finish that off nice and neatly with a plunge at the end. So we'll be demonstrating the plunging method in a second. So I just need to do another one stitch. There will need to be another stitch as well, but to make it easier to plunge, it's better to just leave that little bit of thread there. So I'm just going to cut that off just there, not a lot of thread, not leaving a lot of thread there. I'm going to use my really big plunging needle that I've got just here. Okay, so I'm going to take that down just there, just past that loop. I'm going to take it through the fabric and I'm going to pull it through the fabric once, and then I'm going to take it down to the fabric. I'm going to poke those threads through the loop there, the eye of the needle, and then take it down to the fabric. So it's right down to the fabric there. I'm just going to give it a little wiggle and it will take those threads through. Now you need to make sure that they do lie flat like that. If they twist, then you just need to twist them on the back to correct that twist, and then you just need to put your extra stitch in just here to secure that in place. And that's the end of your heart in Jap. Thank you for watching.